Hi, here we are on Saturday, October 8th, and we're here doing a field trip with S.P.I.R.I.T and Rick Pederson. We have about 20 people here on a ghost hunt with their cameras and Rick's guidance. Everyone seems to be having a great time.
Break this down right now that from the... Yeah, center over. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this into sections, okay? So from the funeral home down, we're going to call that section 1, okay? And down to about to where we're at here. From the funeral home up that way, and you'll know what I'm talking about because you'll see when you go out and around. That whole section will be quadrant 2, and we'll call this whole section back here quadrant 3, okay? So if you guys want to do this, okay?
We'll do 2.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll explain this, guys. Everybody here for a sec. Right now, there's plant matter growing on the top that they're going to skim off, but we've actually received activity when we've been here before. They actually spread ashes in the water there for people. You'll see when you go up through over this way here, guys. When you go up through that way, you're going to see trees, and at the base of the trees you'll see vines of ivy and stuff. They spread ashes in there, okay? And remember when I talked to you guys about all the orbs that we got when we did the photos?
Yep.
Glenn was filming here when he had that image shoot across, and I was right behind you guys over there filming down that way to section 3 when we got all those orbs. So but there's some really cool scenery up through there, so just be careful. Do you guys have, anybody have flashlights with them?
I do.
We do.
Okay, yeah. Please use them, you know, just don't hurt yourselves, okay? Okay. All right, good to go.
Okay.
I'm really excited about having you guys out tonight. This is great. Now, as a good investigator, you go by your gut feeling and sort of feel, whenever you do a walk through a place first, you sort of try to get a feel of where am I feeling the energies, all right, before I set up my cameras and whatever else. So, I'm going to ask you guys, does anybody feel any direction that you're being pulled? Are you being pulled that way? Are you being pulled over there?
That way.
Which way? That way? Is that a general consensus?
Sure.
All right, let's roll. And please try and walk around the graves if you can. Just not trotting.
You said there's something.
So what I'm going to do is anybody that seems to be spreading off on their own, I'm going to go with them. Woo! So I'm going to go with this person over here so they're not by themselves, all right?
Okay.
So you guys, we've got a big enough group. Just try and keep it in at least pairs, okay?
Okay.
Aslan, is my headlamp a problem for you?
No, it's good.
Team leaders, just make sure that nobody goes off by themselves. Have everybody in at least pairs, please. Get
10-4.
Picked up over there something really strong.
Yeah?
I picked up over there something really strong. And when we were standing there all together, I saw something move over there, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't like us having a reflection.
Okay.
But I saw like a shadow lean out and peek, like behind the
really?
light in
Okay.
the corner over there.
Good. We'll work our way up there in a minute. We're going to stay down this section here because we don't want to crowd into those guys because we'll rotate out through.
Oh yeah, there's
So
people in
let's,
there.
yeah, so let's try and work down through this
Okay.
area here.
So we just hit the K2 meter when we think there's something not like.
No, I would have it going the whole time.
Okay.
You don't have, I always carry something in my
Like a paper
pockets.
clip or something? Or penny?
Like a quarter or
Should I stick in black and white here when I'm filming, or?
Well, see, this is the thing, right? Like, I mean, if I put my hand in front, you can see it.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's why I say, like, it's got to be closer.
Okay.
However, what you can do is, if you want, just put it down for a second, is you will have the ability on here to snap photos.
Okay.
Okay. Now, and just take some photos to see what we get, because sometimes we will get. It's interesting. Sometimes the cameras will act up and you won't get anything, and then a couple photos later, you get stuff.
Okay.
Like you'll get a background or whatever. I think we're going to get some interesting results here this evening. There's definitely energies here. So
Oh, that's when I go.
yeah.
I could see something.
Okay. Team leaders, just make sure you make a note for anybody taking digital photos right now. It's about 20 to 8. There is not apparently any precipitation falling, and we are getting people with orbs in their photos. So just make a mental note at the time when they're taking the photos. Acknowledge.
We're in section 3 and we are getting some orbs here as well.
Anybody detecting any precipitation at this moment in the area?
That's negative.
So we might be able to actually get some good photos here. I think we're going to have an interesting night here. There's definitely a feeling of energy in the air, and I think we're going to have some good results. great just letting these people have the opportunity to be out in a cemetery legally and have the opportunity to do the photography and picking up on the energies and stuff. So it's quite a unique experience for everybody here tonight. So cross our fingers for good results. Is my headlamp a problem for you when you're filming?
No, not at all.
So did you copy that? Basically, people were getting results on the photos for orbs. Aslam?
Me?
Yeah. Did you hear the microphone cueing on that?
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
Somebody has orbs.
Lots of people in the different sections are getting orb photography.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go up here for a second. Feeling anything here?
A little bit of sadness. Just a touch.
Okay.
Just here. Like over there in the corner for some reason.
Looks like it's probably either fairly new or it's an anniversary maybe of the passing.
I'm not sure. I wasn't really looking at that. It's actually over there.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that one right over there.
With the lights?
Yeah, that's the one. It's carving.
Take some photos around it. See what you get.
There's one that I'm wondering about. Just gotta get to it. See,
Oh, yeah.
right in the middle of the tree.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was before the rain or whatever.
No, that's not wasn't raining. That's not the one you showed me, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
then didn't you get one in a tree too, like
Yeah, I did.
last time?
Yeah, a real vibrant one. Yeah, that looks pretty vibrant too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, there's going to be stuff here tonight. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so cool.
So the group wants to go to the left here, so we're going to head up over to the left.
Okay.
I'm letting everybody basically follow
agree
their
with that.
instincts, and yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of energy down there. No. The whole point of this is to basically allow people to sort of develop their skills and instincts, right? You don't have to be a medium, just go with your instincts, and because not everybody is really honed on their mediumship abilities, but if they follow their instincts, they can still get some very good results.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you know what? When you did that,
Yeah.
I could see all the rain particles in the air when you just did that flash.
Yeah, I've been seeing that too.
Yeah, so you see how basically you would say for the orb photography, you'd be going like, it's useless at this point,
Yeah.
but just keep taking photos because you may still get apparitions,
Yeah, exactly.
right? That's a very different thing.
So you can't tell the difference between a water drop and a orb?
It's very tough. And, you know what, and the whole thing is that I'm not prepared to put my reputation on the line by saying that is an orb.
And then it's a water drop.
It's a water. And you'll go, you're an idiot. So,
He just got that on camera.
oh, did he? There you go.
It was on the camera for quite some time.
Is it?
Followed
You
it
could
and
put
it
our
changed
hand
shape.
on it and then take the hand away, and the hand it wouldn't show through your there would be nothing shining on your hand. Take your hand away and it's still there.
And it wasn't
Seriously?
raining.
You could block
and
it.
It wasn't raining when that happened.
Cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we kept
Okay.
testing,
And so you got
blocking
that on
light,
camera?
camera
Yeah.
flashes, and
Good job, guys.
them. They're like got ghosts and people talking through microphones and everything.
Where are they?
Well, that way. See where his light is?
Is there another cloud here you'd like
We
to
just
find?
had some EVP activity, which actually just a few minutes ago we had a very cool apparition photo caught down by the pond where ashes are spread. So we are getting some very good activity right now.
Yeah.
No problem.
Wild. And I kept hearing Steve over and over again through
Yeah,
that.
I heard Steve too.
Yeah.
Wait, you want to find the rest of the routine?
You guys want to keep working with that?
Sure.
Sorry.
I heard pardon me. Yeah.
What did you guys hear?
We heard pardon me and we heard Steve here and good job. I heard that distinctly.
Yes, yips and notes.
And yips and nopes. Yeah.
Some amazing stuff going on so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Good job, you guys.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, you know what, go do what you want to, what area you feel, let's try that again, whatever area you're feeling drawn to, so keep over that way.
No, dude,
Get it on his, maybe.
And we immediately, just for verification of the photo, we actually immediately lit up the area with flashlights. There was no fog suspended over the water, and there was no condensation from people's breath. So, and we can clearly see a spider web in the foreground. So,
Yeah, and this is an after shot.
great results. So yeah, so what we'll do, guys, is if you want to from that pathway and then work your way up this way.
Okay.
Okay. In back of the crematorium, there's a metal bin back there, and they actually, Asian community will bring paper mache items for the dead for when they go to the other side. So they'll do a paper mache house. They put it in there and they burn it, and then it goes up to the heavens. Money for the other side. They bring paper mache cars.
That's a car.
That's a car. The roads are probably a little
As
greasy.
you said, cars, you know.
Yeah,
had to.
didn't hear it followed up by a 0 after 15 kilometers.
Oh wow.
And there's no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason. So, and then the other phenomena is where it just won't take photos. It comes out black, and then the next one will come out normal, and the next one will be black. And you're like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's doing that.
Yeah. As soon as I think I see something or try to capture something, it won't take the picture.
Yeah.
Just in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there's definitely activity, right?
Oh, definitely. Type feeling.
Can somebody take some photos here for me, please?
I was trying to on the other side.
Photos of this one here.
See, there's a bit of a delay, but see.
Definitely feel like there's something here.
Well, it looks like a critter's been eating the apple.
Did you get something?
I got another one.
What did you get?
What are you getting? Another one. Oh yeah.
I've got that on other pictures, and I thought maybe it was rain.
Let's see. Look what I got.
What'd you get?
I'm going to show you.
A beautiful picture of a tree.
Ah, that is a beautiful
little bit
picture.
of fog over there, though. Just keep shutting on.
Alrighty. We got our ghost box back, so we'll let somebody do some work with the ghost box here.
Oh, look at that.
Now we're getting a little bit of condensation from your breath, right?
Hey, could this be something?
There on the side?
Yeah.
Look at it. I'm not trying to burst your bubble.
No. Yeah, that could be it, eh?
Right? So we're getting to that point where we're getting enough condensation in the air now,
Yeah.
cooling down,
Yeah.
that could possibly be just your breath getting into the range.
Oh, okay.
So always hold your camera out like this.
Yeah.
Don't hold it real close to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then when you take a photo, try and hold your breath.
Oh, okay.
And make
Will
sure
do.
people that are around you, they're doing the same protocol.
Okay, I'll try that.
This looks like a raindrop here.
Just let your people know when they're doing photography to hold their camera out arm's length and to hold their breath while they're doing photography. We're getting a little bit of condensation showing up in photos. Okay, who wants to work with the ghost box? Okay. Who said that?
I think
I
she
can't
is.
see. I can only see the sun blinding me in my eyes. I'm hearing voices there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're already on here, and I'll just turn this on. Okay. So you're basically going to make sure that there's a camera around you at all times, like a video camera. Don't leave the or actually, if they need to walk, you stay with them and shadow them, and you're going to ask basic questions. Is there anybody here? What's your name? Very basic questions, and then follow it along. All right?
Okay.
And then you're going to need to be fairly close to them just so you can get that on audio. Okay, and we'll cross up over here.
Mind if I stay with you?
Yes.
Is there anybody here with us? What's your name?
Yes, I got it.
Is there anybody here with us? How old are you? Did you hear that? 70s. How did you pass? How old were you when you passed? Do you have any messages for us?
Stay here for a second. It's going to be interesting to see if we get any paranormal activity as we head up. Throughout the section up over here, there was some more low-income, poor people, some interesting history as far as probably people who wouldn't have a lot of connection to loved ones and whatever right now. So it'll be interesting to see if we pick up on some activity as we go up over to this next section. I want you guys to focus your energies as you go through. This is a very interesting section. As we go through this whole section right in front of you, I want you to use some ghost boxing through there because you may get some activity through there. So we're bringing the ghost box over and we'll try and do some activity here because as you can see, this looks like it's a fairly recent so May of 2011. So we'll see if we can maybe get some activity here.
you have any messages for us here?
So you always want to try and face the camera with that, so that the camera can get your audio. So.
It's hard to tell if you're getting anything.
Are there any spirits here with us? You can maybe try changing frequencies. Okay, let's switch it over to the FM band. Okay.
All right. Are there any spirits here with us right now? Do you have a message for us?
When I was here the time with Glenn, that area up there felt very, very forgotten. Mm-hmm. It was a very sorrowful feeling when you went up and back of there. And in fact, I found out from the cemetery afterwards that apparently there's some markers up in the back where there's not even bodies there. They were actually buried elsewhere, like at sea and whatever. Oh. So it's quite interesting history.
So they paid for stuff.
Yeah, just using it as a marker. Right?
Look at that, man. Like this area right through here.
Yeah, it's very nice. You know, I mean, if you actually go up through that way there.
Yeah.
They just cut through. Come on under the trees, guys.
No, we were very confused.
Everybody have a good time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You know, that makes it worthwhile from my perspective. I mean, having you guys come out, you guys were an awesome group. You all seemed very eager to learn and willing to sort of, you know, struggle through a little bit of the crummy weather and whatever. So I thank you very much for coming out. As I said, there was a group that I think was missing. Is that I'm going to actively work over the next couple of weeks to get us an indoor venue. The issue is that right now Paul and I are starting up a company that's been a ton of work, and so honestly I didn't have the amount of time that I wanted to try and get us something in advance. I'm going to try and work on the Bernie Legg Theatre in Queen's Park in Westminster. It's a fairly large playhouse which will hold the number of people that I'm sure we can get to come out to this thing. And if I don't get that, I'm going to try for the Vogue Theatre in Vancouver. And there's a few other venues as well. So if you guys are keen to come back and do more, we can look to do that. There's probably some other people that want to get trained up as well.
I, for one, want to thank you, Rick, for helping us arrange all this.
My pleasure. You guys are awesome.
Excellent.
So, the one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was all of your photos and recordings and all the rest. Now you guys have your homework ahead of you. That's the part that can be somewhat tedious. I did one recording where, you know, basically we had like 96 hours of recordings to go through. So, you know, if you guys are looking to do any sort of paranormal investigations, that's sort of the Melissa, where are you?
Yep.
That's the paperwork, the part of being a cop, right? You know, it's all fun when you're taking down the bad guys and wrestling them to the ground, but then you have all the paperwork afterwards. So this is your guys' paperwork. Don't throw out anything. If you think that there's anything that might be questionable, fire it over to me. Email it. Yahoo has a really good email service. It allows you to attach large files up to 150 megs, I think it is. So you can send through Yahoo Mail. Call me, whatever. I have no issues taking a phone call from you guys and going over any of your data. And then what I like to do is I always like to burn it onto a disk, and then you have it, you know, in perpetuity. And if anybody has anything they want to call into question, you have your backup data as well, right? Now, did everybody, when you're doing your photos, did you guys do 2 photos like one right after the other? Mm-hmm. Okay. Really, really important. And did everybody get a chance to see the photo that Terry Ann took?
No, because my camera's dead.
Oh, great.
You'll have to email it.
Yeah.
I saw it. It was fantastic.
What was it? What was it of?
This.
You know what? It
like
was.
a
It was
mist.
actually right around here, and basically she took a photo. There was a spider web that was going across one strand, and she tried to take a photo of it, and right in the background of it was this white mist. And we lit it up with flashlights. There was nothing suspended. There was no, at that point, there wasn't any condensation that was visible for breath from everybody. So that was like a 10 out of 10 for a photo. That was really well done. And she remembered to do 2 photos, because had she said to me, look at this, and she didn't show me the one right after it where it was gone, I would have said, well, how do I know it wasn't a fog? How do I know whatever, right? So, and you guys probably learned some tricks tonight when you're doing your photos, as far as hold your camera out here, hold your breath. Really important, right? Because you can see as I'm talking, you can see the condensation come out. That's going to drift in front of your lens, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, look what I got. Right? So these are all things that, and I'm trying not to drag this out tonight for you, but really important things to remember when you're doing paranormal investigations is that credibility is everything. And the second anything comes into question, you have to have the answer. I do this, this, and this is standard protocol. And if I don't do that, okay, my photo's garbage. So it's really important to remember that stuff, that you can say, look, I've done 2 photos. There was no atmospheric conditions. Typically what I would say is that before you would start an investigation, you'd be making notes as far as when you're outside, this is the temperature, this is what the humidity was, blah, 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 blah. Because that gives you the ability to sort of correlate your information as the night goes on. This is a great training field for you guys as well. You know, like it's one of those things, if you can do a paranormal investigation in this kind of an uncontrolled environment, you're laughing when you go into a house or a building or whatever. Because how can you control anything around you here right now? You can't, right? So this is probably throwing you guys to the wolves from a certain perspective, giving you the real hard work, but that's the best way to do it. And then everything else comes easier, right? So great job. You guys all have my email. It's just rick@spiritbc.net. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or give me a call. It's not a problem. And then we will be in contact. Shy Rose and myself will be in contact with you guys with respect. Do you have everybody's email?
I have most people's emails. If somebody could just shoot emails to me, my email is simply shyrose@gmail.com. Or
Like who can spell that?
Yeah, you know what?
Okay, here.
Thanks, honey.
How about Astral Connections Events at gmail.com? Okay, Astral
or
Connections Events at
rick@spiritbc.net.
and you forward it to me.
Yeah, just you know what, whatever's easiest for you guys,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we communicate pretty much every other day.
Yeah,
So.
we do.
Okay.
All right, and then if you guys can make sure, I'm going to go to the car, and if you guys can bring me all the equipment that we've been using, and we'll get it put away. There we go. And is that it?